Hello everyone. So this is day 44 and we are going to see performance optimization. So in the last session we have seen iteration and condition and iterative macro prior to that. So if you're visiting this channel first time, so please go and watch those videos and let me know if there is any questions and queries related to those topics. So I'll be happy to help you guys. And also, like if you are visiting first time to this channel, please like, subscribe, comment, and share your feedback as well so that I can improve the channel content and I can bring some new content related to Alteryx or some other topics. Thank you. So let's jump into the performance optimization workflow. So let's see what is performance optimization and let's understand what is this performance optimization. So there is nothing called like a tool or something or component in Alteryx which can help to drive the performance, right? But yes, there are some options are available when we are working with the big data set. So this is like a very simple data set. If you see, this is a sample data set, and if you want, you can go to sample data set option. And here, if you are working in Alteryx or if you have downloaded this tool first time, you can use those sample data sets as well. So this is just housing prices uh, data set which we are using. And if you see, this is the data, right? So now if we see the AMP engine and what is the workflow configuration and runtime and use AMP engine. What does this mean? So if you go to any configuration here, so currently if you see this is a standard workflow, correct? And what is the version, the directory from where the files are coming. And if you see the workflow file name and the GUI interaction and runtime is used global default uses what does this mean? So like for example, currently if you see this is a normal workflow, right? So we see the records are in 0.6 second. This entire uh, workflow has completed, right? Because the data is very less also. The data is not too much like, but if you see there is like a lot of changes are happening in the back end. So in the select, we are selecting only a couple of things. And then autofilled, this is a new component which we are using. Autofilled is a component which will help you to change the data type. So if you don't know what is the right data type, what should be the right data type, and if we don't know when we are working in a project, we can use this tool, autofilled. And this tool you can find it under preparation as well, and you can search here as well. Okay, so there also you can find this tool, and this is the browse tool which we are using to produce the output. And if you see the records are very less, 4,223 records are displaying. Now, what is performance optimization? So when it comes to while creating any workflow, so currently if you see that options, the memory limit is global, the temporary file is global, the conversion rate is maximum error per location should be 10. It should not go beyond more than that. Predictive tool code, which is a Western European, and always use local machine time. So, and these options like use AMP engine, enable performance profiling. So if you click this, what will happen? So it will also show you the profile time, like how much time it is taking and what is the percentage rate of percentage, right? So if we are changing the performance optimization here under the workflow and runtime, so we are able to see the AMP engine as well and the performance cancel running workflow. I mean, if you want to cancel the workflow while running, okay, and if there is any error, disable all the browse tool if you don't want to see. So all macro messages when you are working in macro. Disable all tools that write output. So you don't want to write your data, but yes, we cannot do these things, right? So we want to see the output. We cannot cancel the running workflow while error. So we need to fix that error and we need to understand like what is the error and fix that issue. And then again, come back with that with the changes. So what is performance profiling with AMP engine? So it will help you to see the execution time for each tool relative to the workflow overall execution and how it helps. So this will help you to see the original engine and the AMP the number of times or the number of threads which is executing in that particular workflow and the total time. So it will show you how much time it is taking and where you can optimize your workflow, right? So at the end, see, at the end, when we are working, this is a very small data set. But when it comes to gigabyte or terabyte of data and GB data, so in that cases, we need to also make sure while working on those projects that it is not taking much time. Like what is the ideal time of Alteryx? So like you can keep it max to max 5 or 7 minutes or 8 minutes, but not more than that. If it is taking that much time, then your workflow is not optimized. Then we need to figure it out what all the transformation you are applying, and also like what are the things you are applying or logics or formulas. Is it really necessary to apply those formulas, or can we? Because at the end, Alteryx is not a tool to create lot of junkies formulas and all these things, right? So Alteryx is a component. It's a ETL tool which is used to extract, transform the data, and load the data to some data warehouse, or it can be a file, or it can be any server. So from where you can load those data, and from there you can connect with Tableau or Power BI. When we are working with the enterprise solutions, so we see these options, right? When we are working on those kind of solution where you are connecting the data from Amazon Redshift, that's a completely raw data, and then you are adding like 3 to 5 columns of formula, like that's okay, but it should not go like more than 10, 15 columns. You keep on adding lot of columns. That means you are not able to understand the data. We are not able to understand the data, and we don't know what exactly we need to do. So what, instead of adding those formula, what we can do? Can we transpose the data? Uh, can we also like make sure we can pivot or unpivot the data? So this is the best option where, like, if you are applying the transpose option, so automatically it will get converted, right? So cross tab and transform, these are the major tools which are getting used in the you can say like a large data set. So where we are seeing like, okay, instead of adding 100 columns, so we can work with 20 columns. Why I need 100 columns, right? So 100 columns, it's not a best practice also. Like if you are adding 100 columns in your Alteryx solution, that is not a best practice. Anyone will not recommend that solution, and nobody will agree to those that solution as well. So we also need to make sure like we are cleaning the data and optimizing the workflow in such a way so that do we really need all these columns? Yes, we need all these columns. So what we can do? Can we transpose it instead of having, if you see 17 fields, now it is showing. So there are 17 columns. So is it a best practice when you are working with a large data set? No, then it is not a best practice. So in that case, you can convert this into group the data into like all these columns, and then you can change the, if you want, you can change this uh, data as well. And if you want, you can use the aggregated values as well, like if you want to add it, right? And again, like you can transpose the data in such a way like instead of loading the data in terms of, so if you run this solution, so let me show you how this will. Now if you see, the records are getting like, this record got much too much of data, so everything got converted into, like all the columns got converted into rows, and all the values got converted into this one. So now we can clean the data, like you can bring the select tool and you can select only those data which is required. So this is just, I'm giving an option. There is another thing what we can do here. So instead of this running, adding these things, so let me show you what are the options Alteryx provide us to, like when we are working with the, now instead of 4,000, we see there are million of rows we converted, right? So you can like right click and you can see, I mean, you can select the workflow, and you can see like whether we can here view the possible connections and properties. And if you see, there is a cache and run workflow. So currently this is disabled, but yes, I mean, you can find those options under the runtime, like you want to cache this already, this is uh, cache, and already this is optimized workflow. Let's bring something like, let me bring some input data. So let me connect with some, set up a connection, and let's bring some of the files. So let's connect with some Excel files, select a file, okay, and US combined final data. So if you see, or let's take this one. So this is like 708 MB data, right? So this is one file I'm connecting. So let me run this entire thing. So if you see here, it is taking 1.9 seconds to execute all these records, right? So all these records it is executing, and it is giving me it is taking, still this time is okay. But if we right click this one, and if we just cache and run the workflow. So now if you see, the logo of this one will get changed. This has been optimized. And now let's see how much time. So it is taking, now it is taking 6.2 seconds with 9. So there are a lot of conversion and error it is doing. And on top of it, then it is connecting the, so any changes, like if you see here, if you run the browse tool, so let me connect with this one as well, and let me execute it. So let's go to this summary. So if you see, these many records has been browsed, and what is the message it is coming? Browse 3 messages. So result window is nothing. That's a window which will give you. So if you see within one, earlier it was 6.54 seconds, but after adding this one more tool, 1.4 seconds, right? And this is taking how much time? 0.5 seconds. So this workflow got optimized. So why it got optimized? Because what we are doing, we are caching. What we are doing, we are applying this cache and run workflow methods. So these are the couple of things which we are using to make sure the data load should not take much of time. Like this is just 238 MB of file, but tomorrow you might be working with the 100 same kind of data set, which might taking like a lot of good amount of time. Like you can expect like more than it will take 6 minutes or 7 minutes, adding lot of formulas and all. So there might be, we will be seeing those complex solutions or projects I'll be creating later, where you can see like how we are optimizing the performance, what are the things we are doing to optimize the performance and logic. So those things will be also explain. I'll be also explaining in my videos in future. But yes, we need to understand like where, what kind of data we are working, what is the size of the data, are we applying these tools or technology or methods, like what are the methods we are applying to cache and see the runtime. If it is taking too much time, then why it is taking too much time, you can enable here also. Like for example, if I go to runtime and enable the performance profiling, so if I run here, so let's see. So it is showing you like, now see, if I enable the performance profiling, so it is showing like how much browse tool is taking, how much second cache, how much it is taking the time, right? So after optimizing, and for more details, you can click here and you can see like what exactly is AMP profiling highlights. So it will adjust the memory limit. Since the Alteryx tool is on-prem tool, we need to understand it's not a cloud-based solution. It is an on-prem tool, and everything, whatever you are doing, like you are applying any performance optimization, so it gets saved in your local machine, right? So if we are reading some kind of a data, like if we go here, if we click here, so it is showing you how much record it is running. Now we can, like, yes, I mean, if you see here, these are couple of columns are there, which is null also, like there is no use of. So what I can do, I can use the, uh, so I can use this select tool. Like for example, let me bring it and show it to you guys. So here I can bring it, and I can just exclude this because this has a null data when we are running the solution. So let's say earlier it was taking how much of time? Almost it was taking like Earlier, it was taking almost like 58 some seconds, 2 seconds or something. But now we can execute and see one more time, like how much time again it is taking, right? So now if you see 2.2 seconds, so some time has been increased, or next time again, if you are running. So if you keep adding tools also, that might impact on your entire solution, right? So you need to right click and check like whether this is cache and run workflow. So you can enable this. And again, like you can run this. So let's see now how much time it is taking. So now it is taking like 2 point something millisecond, 5,000 or something. That is the final second it is taking, right? So after running each and every partial result. So these are some of the benefits, like 4.1 second total it is taking, like after adding one more tool, and then what all the operations it is doing, like caching this record. So you will see how, what is the, and what all the configuration also you can see here. Like if you have applied any configuration or anything, so it will show you. So this is about the performance optimization when working with the complex data set or large data set, or you can say like a million of rows, 10 million of rows. So what are the things we should be keeping? And also the major thing, if you see here, I'm not selecting everything. So we need to make sure, like while importing the data, after importing the data, we also have to make sure like the data which is coming from the system, is it everything is having a data? If what we can reduce, like do we really need these negative values? Okay, so what are the filters we can do? So after selecting and then filters, and then using this autofill to adjust the data type so that it can showcase like it should get converted. This will help you to optimize your data types into a required format, and also it will help you to optimize the performance uh, of your whole workflow, and if there is any error or something, and then the final. So anyways, browse tool is not used mostly when we are working in the enterprise based solution. We'll just check the sample data or some random data set, so which will help us to just understand like whether our workflow is uh, running better, or is there is any issue with the data, like while extracting the data, right? So those things we can check in the performance optimization as well. So thank you very much for watching this video, and stay tuned, like, subscribe, comment, and share your feedback. Let me know if there is any specific topic you wanted to discuss, or you wanted to learn about Alteryx, or if you are working in Alteryx and you are struggling to create any workflow, please feel free to write it in the comment section so that I can help you guys. Thank you.